starting. Yeah. Okay, it is starting. Okay, we are live now. Wow. Okay. Ready, go. Yes. Welcome to Rong's Know Yourself podcast and video. So today I want to bring up a little bit an alternative healing perspective into parenting and family life because what we are really talking about today is not just communication. It is how energy, emotion, and the nervous system shapes everything that happens in your relation. So most of the time, we think problems with our kids are about what we say or what we didn't say or what we do or how we should have said it differently. But from a healing point of view, what's actually happening underneath is that emotion and the nervous system are interacting long before any words are exchanged. So when emotions become intense, stress, irritation, urgency, anxiety, the nervous system shifts into protection mode. In alternative healing tradition, this is the moment when the body's natural flow of energy becomes restricted. That restriction doesn't just affect our mood, it affects how we think, how we speak, how we listen, and how we connect. And when that flow is restricted, healing, whenever it's emotional, physical, or relational, becomes much harder. So when we talk about emotional regulation, we are not just talking about calming down. We are talking about restoring the body's natural state of balance so that healing energy can move again. So you know those moments when it feels like nobody's listening or the whole atmosphere in the room feels off, or conversations go in circles no matter how carefully you choose your words. That's often not really a communication issue. It is an emotional and energetic regulation issue. So today we are going to explore why learning to regulate emotion, especially as parents, is one of the most powerful healing skills you can develop, not just for your family, but for your own body, mind, and the nervous system as well. So let's dive in why emotional regulation is actually the real secret. And before we go any further, I would like to invite you into a very short grounding moment, especially if you are listening when driving, cooking, or moving through your days. Maybe not do it when you're driving. So you don't have to stop for the things you're doing, but just allow your attention to soften a little. Take a slow breath in through your nose and let it flow out through your mouth. Like this, with a sigh. Again, breathe in and gently release. Now bring your awareness into your body. Notice your feet, your leg, your hands, your shoulders, your face. Without changing anything, simply observe. If there's any tension, tightness, imagine it melting downward back into the earth where it can be recycled into something nourishing. So in alternative healing, we understand that the body holds emotion as energy, and when awareness arrives, that energy begins to reorganize naturally. So there is nothing you need to force. Just allow your system to settle. One more slow breath in and a long, easy exhale. When you're ready, gently return your attention to the sound of my voice, And now let's talk about what's really happening inside of the nervous system during family conflicts. So, this episode is not about becoming a better parent or fixing a child or finding the perfect words. It's really about understanding what actually happening inside our nervous system during family conflict and how changing the order of what we do can change everything. So mostly parenting conflicts they don't happen because the parents doesn't care. They happen because emotion take over the system. And once that happens, communication becomes too late. So today we are talking about the regulation first parenting, which I call resilience parenting. And I'm Rong, I'm the founder of Heartstring Blossom. So when we are already activated, even the right words can land wrongly. So today I'm sharing this regulation first approach to parents that start with the parent's nervous system, not the children's behavior. So this is a state problem. It is not a skill. It's not a skill problem. So when emotion spikes, the nervous system instantaneously shifts into protection mode, and communication happens after that shift. And most parents already know what they should say, but what they don't always realize is that the state they're saying it from. So it is really about the state that you are saying it from. So the key point today is not learning bad techniques. It is about recognizing when your system has already changed. And when the system shifts into the protection state, something very important happens in the brain. So when emotion is high, learning is offline. When emotion arises like irritation, anxiety, urgency, anger, the nervous system prioritizes what? Safety. The nervous system prioritizes safety, not understanding. So in that state, advice feels like pressure, logic doesn't land, and the children mirror parents' nervous system immediately. And when a conversation escalates, it doesn't mean you fail as a parent. It just means the nervous system was already activated. So now the question becomes, can we notice this early, before things escalated? So conflict starts earlier than we think. It doesn't start with yelling. It doesn't even start with words. It starts with very early nervous system signals. So this looks like different for everyone, but you need to find your very own signals. So what it might look like is that a subtle sense of irritation, a feeling of impatience, your voice getting a little bit louder, a tightness in your chest or jaw, a sense of urgency to fixing this now. So our goal is not to eliminate these signals. It is really to learning to notice, to recognize your very first signal. Because that moment is your window. The moment is that you have the choice and you can do a better choice. That is your window to regulate. And once you can notice early, the next question is, what shall we do now? So this is the order that actually works. The order changes everything. First, you need to notice and regulate yourself. Then you communicate and you make decisions at last. And often, sometimes, even just after step one, you will the regulation, you will find the conflicts already softened and nothing else need to happen. And it works miraculously. But it is, we understand why. You know, the real secret is the nervous system regulation. So, what does this regulation look like? It's really easy and simple. It's not complicated. So, regulation doesn't mean you need to do 20 minutes meditation. It can be a few intentional breaths or grounding your feet on the floor or softening your shoulders. Or you can also stepping away briefly to reset your system. Or you can tell your family that, oh, we can discuss this later. So these are not avoidance, they are restoring clarity. They create a space for you to respond instead of react. So as the picture you can see, you can put your hands, one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. And you can do it with me now. Just like take a 3 breaths. Breathe in and breathe out. Another deep breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Just one final time. Breathe in and breathe out. Yeah, great. How do you feel now? Okay, so I have a tool called Resilience Parenting. Like it's a document along with a GPT like file, a GPT, and so it is that help parents to regulate their state. So it's like a parenting coaching tool. It's focusing on the parents' regulation and the communication process. So what it does is it helps parents to pause before, notice those early signals and then pause to regulate. Then they can communicate within those non-judgmental languages. But it doesn't analyze your child or doesn't tell you what decision to be made. And it doesn't promise specific outcomes. So this coaching tool is more for regulate the parent's state and have a better understanding of the child. Then you can communicate from there. But it's not a child behavior correction tool. So how does this actually works in the moment? So you will get it's the document, and you will have a guided breathing, the regulation, and it can clarify the parent's internal state. Will ask you questions like, will you feel tension on your body, or it will de-escalating languages. So it will make those suggestions for the language, which is de-escalating. So it is speak both like English and Chinese. Or if you don't want to use a AI tool, you can just using the document as a guideline and practice from there. So why this works? Because when parents notice early and regulate first, the emotional charge dissolves, and often the conversation softens. And 60 to 70 of conflicts is naturally, and you need early awareness and the right order to make it happen. And also this regulation first parenting, it's that all about, and you can use it not only with your child, you can use it with your partner, You can use it with other like family member, especially in this holiday season. You will see a lot of most people see like more family members. So you can use this in your family, and you will find after using it, you'll find that actually the family dynamic becomes smoother. So the key point is before you talk to the loved ones, talk to your own nervous system. That shift alone changes everything. So before we close today, I would like to think about one thing you get, like one takeaway you get. And we have a final moment of integration. So wherever you are, allow your shoulder to soften, your jaw to release, and your breath to deepen just a little. And take one slow breath in and out. And let today's conversation settle into your body, not only as an information, but as a felt sense of steadiness. In healing work, we understand that true change doesn't come from effort, it comes from regulation. When the nervous system feels safe, the body reorganizes, the mind clears, and the heart opens naturally. So as you move back into your day, remember, you don't need to solve everything. You only need to return to yourself first. So take a breath wherever you need for the regulation. And thank you for being here and taking this moment for you and for choosing a gentler way move forward. Thank you.